I walked around picking butts from the street. I passed a fish and chips joint on Market Street, and suddenly the woman in there gave me a terrified look as I passed. She was the proprietress. She apparently thought I was coming in there with a gun to hold up the joint. I walked on a few feet. It suddenly occurred to me this was my mother of about 200 years ago in England, and that I was her footpad son returning from gaol to haunt her honest labors in the hashery. I stopped, frozen with ecstasy, on the sidewalk. I looked down Market Street. I didn't know whether it was that or Canal Street in New Orleans. It led to water. Ambiguous, universal water, just as 42nd Street, New York leads to water, and you never know where you are. I thought of Ed Dunkel's ghost on Times Square. I was delirious. I wanted to go back and leer at my strange Dickensian mother in the hash joint. I tingled all over from head to foot. It seemed I had a whole host of memories leading back to 1750 in England, and that I was in San Francisco now, only in another life and in another body. No! That woman seemed to say with that terrified glance, "Don't come back again and plague your honest, hard-working mother. You're no longer like a son to me, and like your father, my first husband." Ere this kindly Greek took pity on me. The proprietor was Greek with hairy arms. "You are no good, inclined to drunkenness and routs and final disgraceful robbery of the fruits of my humble labors in the hashery. Oh, son, did you not ever go on your knees and pray for deliverance for all of your sins and scoundrelous acts, lost boy? Depart, do not haunt my soul. I have done well forgetting you. Reopen no old wounds. Be as if you had never returned and looked into me, to see my laboring humilities, my few scrabbled pennies, hungry to grab, quick to deprive, sullen, unloved, mean-minded, son of my flesh, son, son." It made me think of the big pop vision in Gretna with the old bull. And for just a moment, I'd reached the point of ecstasy that I always wanted to reach, which was the complete step across chronological time into timeless shadows and wonderment in the bleakness of the mortal realm, and the sensation of death kicking at my heels to move on, with a phantom dogging its own heels, and myself hurrying to a plank where all the angels dove off and flew into the holy void of uncreated emptiness, the potent and inconceivable radiances shining in bright mind essence, innumerable lotus lands falling open in the magic moth swarm of heaven. I could hear an indescribable seething roar which wasn't in my ear but everywhere, and had nothing to do with sounds. I realized that I had died and been reborn numberless times, but just didn't remember, especially because the transitions from life to death and back to life are so ghostly easy. A magical action for naught, like falling asleep and waking up again a million times, the utter casualness and deep ignorance of it. I realized it was only because of the stability of the intrinsic mind that these ripples of birth and death took place. like the action of wind on a sheet of pure, serene, mirror-like water. I felt sweet, swinging bliss like a big shot of heroin in the mainline vein, like a gulp of wine late in the afternoon, and it makes you shudder. My feet tingled. I thought I was going to die the very next moment. But I didn't die and walked 4 miles and picked up 10 long butts and took them back to Mary Lou's hotel room and poured their tobacco in my old pipe and lit up. I was too young to know what had happened.